a freak off. No, I'm kidding. It is time for us to talk about freak offs. Duh. You know, I was not going to record this episode today at all. Wasn't feeling it. I was like, I'm not in the mood. But Notorious B.I.G. was like, girl, you need to record this episode because, girl, you need to share this shit. So I guess it's happening. Welcome to Freaked Out with your psychic medium host, Liz. That is me. And by the way, guys, if you are not following us on our new podcast, where have you been? We started it last week. We have 3 episodes already, a 4th coming tomorrow. Well, it might actually be already out by the time you watch this because this one's not coming out for a few days. So run. It is only available on Spotify. And I am loving Spotify for us. A good decision, my decision, feels amazing. You guys are not going to want to miss it. I made a full ass Epstein episode and it quite literally got taken down over here because that's how crazy and bad it was. Oh no, the podcast will not do that to us. So make sure to go follow us against everything. And it is me and Landon all over again, which I've been missing the shit out of him when it comes to being on here. So let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about Diddy because we stopped talking about Diddy. He is like quietly in the background again, finishing up his prison sentence that he's trying to get out of, might I add. You disgusting creep. I want to talk about him and bring back all the memories, things that I have been dying to share with you. And this episode might be a little bit on the intense side, which is why it's exclusive. So we're going to start from the top and work our way down to his freak off list because it is long and a little unexpected. There's going to be some players we all know about, and then there's going to be some players we don't know about. So here we go. So as you know, Notorious B.I.G. was somebody, a regular in his life. He was totally used. He still has like, I don't want to say a love. He still has, I guess, that friendship pang because Diddy was really good to him. And sometimes his like betrayal energy and his friendship energy kind of mix. And he misses the friendship he had, but he knows it was a scam. So although he misses that energy and misses all of that, he knows who Diddy is. He knew before he died, and he hates that this mofo took all of the love and support and used it to his advantage. And he claims that he is only as rich as he is because of Biggie's death. And I don't disagree. I believe that Notorious never ever wanted his family to struggle. And he is disgusted on how Diddy has handled that situation. And he thinks he's disgusting in general, but that is what pisses him off more than anything. Even more than the connections to his death, because yes, we all know he was connected to his death as well. Let's go into Faith Evans. Faith is one of those people who is like legally connected and obligated to him. There is a connection to the Illuminati. Like he straight up brought Faith into it. And she has a lot of thanks and appreciation directed at him. But she also is feeling the hate, is afraid to go against him. But she will not actively come out there. But Faith has very much so seen all of the abuse he put every single one of his women through. Enough freak off parties, like she was there, she was enjoying, she was part of it. Lots of baby oil stuff for her, the drugs, everything, and she just went along with it. She, from what I can see when it comes to her specifically, although she may be quiet and not sharing anything at the moment, there is an element of abuse as well. And at some point she may share her story. My concern is that if she just randomly like dies because there is a bit of a target on her back, I'm not sure if it's Diddy connected. She has been talking to a few people behind the surface and is very paranoid at the moment. But if she dies randomly in an accident, we know why. Mace. I think Diddy is the reason that Mace has gone in a completely different direction in his life. He was also very much aware and around because he was part of Bad Boys. And Mace, his family, his people were like, you need to stay away from this guy. Like, he's not a good one. I do feel like Mace did witness a few things. And instead of being public about it, because I think that's just not his energy, he's not a rat. So he went in a different direction. But I don't think this is the end of us hearing details from Mace. And another piece, he's also very mad at Usher right now. And I don't blame him. I'm mad at Usher too. Like, why are you opening your mouth, boy? There is no reason for you to defend Diddy. How dare you? That clearly shows that you have no respect for Cassie. Cassie deserves respect, and you think that it's okay for him to do what he did. So that means that you're okay with men being the superior sex and treating women like that. Ugly, ugly look for you, bud. And then you fight with Justin a few days prior. Like, Usher, you be making some bad choices at the moment. And I respected you up until that point, honestly. I know that you also went through some of your abuse, and I know that they're like, you need to say something because, you need to say something. Because he tries not to get involved in things. He likes to keep his head in the sand. I think somebody put him up to it, but still, he should have pulled up his big boy pants, not been scared, and just be like, fuck no, I owe you dick. Lil' Kim, I mean, we know that. Lil' Kim put the pieces together during the time that they were putting together that song for B.I.G. She continued to carry on with it because she was also very fearful of what would happen next. But she knows, she's been told, she was informed. She actually spoke directly to somebody who actually did the heinous crimes connected to Diddy. And she has been pulled into some crazy shit. I keep seeing like a pew pew to her head, and I very well think it was this one. I think it was Diddy that did that. So, but she doesn't want to try to cause problems because I think she's genuinely afraid as well. But she's certainly not going to pull an Usher. She's not going to go out there and be like, hey, Diddy's an awesome guy. He's great. Obviously, we know Cassie. Cassie is trying to put her life back together. I feel for that girl. I feel like she still gets like threats and comments, and she's afraid for her life some days. I also believe that people have been following her, take pictures of her. Like, it's not good. And although she's trying to move on with her life and it is more peaceful than it ever has been, but I don't feel like she's completely healed from the trauma that she's going through, trying her very hardest. But I do feel like there's way more that she has not shared with us, but because he paid her off, I don't think she's going to share things, unfortunately. French Montana. I believe that their level of relationship is like on the QA. Unfortunately, I feel like they still have ties in the background and are not causing problems for each other. I feel like French Montana is going to continue to be not necessarily a Diddy supporter, but quietly in the background being a friend. I think he's got a little shame in it. Not that he's a bad guy, but I mean, yeah, he's seen some shit and he didn't fix it. So a lot of people like this guy, and I don't know why. Machine Gun Kelly. He was also signed to Bad Boy. He did move on independently, but I feel like he also still is connected to Diddy. I see, and I hate to say this, but I feel like he's a very abusive energy. Like, it makes me sick to my stomach. And I feel like he hurt Megan Fox. Even their ring, their wedding bands, like, it was a very creepy vibe. I just don't get a good feel from this guy. He is somebody who has definitely been partying with Diddy, has been engaging. I feel like there's some underage minor girl situation going on, but that'll eventually come out later. Don't like him at all. Never have, never will. Mary J. Blige. I feel like she is somebody who is still in contact with him. And I hate to say this, but it feels like there's still something there. Even her song, like back in the day, Hit 'Em Up in Style, that has always felt connected to Diddy. Maybe not in the sense of like a romantic relationship. I don't know. Something tells me that there was something specific, somebody specific that she was referencing in that song. And I think it pissed him off. I also feel like he has hit her a few times as well. Um, she's a little afraid of him too. She also witnessed things, and I wish she would come forward, and one day she may. But she knows a lot of what is going on. She can honestly come forward and confirm a lot of things. She also has a lot of video and documentation that I believe would be proof to really put this motherfucker away for good. Usher, who lived with Diddy briefly. Ugh. First of all, Usher is probably one of those people, considering he lived with him, who saw the craziest parts of Diddy. And although Diddy is a freak, he was like, you know what, you be your freak yourself. I'll be my own person. But I feel like he put a blind eye to things. I feel like Usher witnessed some underage shit, was involved in some underage shit. Now, did he seek out these girls? No. But I do believe that he played with some shaky age territory there for a while. Not now. Somebody will come out and speak on it. Not in a big way, but it will be something minor in the media, and I feel like he'll try to sue them. Either way, Usher is like being held by like a chokehold when it comes to Diddy. He requires Usher to speak good on his behalf because he's afraid of him. Usher is afraid of what Diddy will do. They talk frequently, even now. I don't feel like Usher abused anyone, thankfully, but I do believe that Usher was used by Diddy to get to Justin. And I feel like he gaslit Justin a lot. And Justin has a lot of animosity towards him about that. He also plays this big pretend role. I feel like when Justin comes forward, because Justin is going to share his story, Usher tries to stop him and has tried to stop him in the past. There's a lot of Usher connections. I do believe he'll talk a lot about Usher, and Usher's going to go in straight deny everything, which is bullshit. Jay-Z. Jay-Z is also somebody, listen to this. Obviously, we know Jay-Z is king. He is somebody who's connected to the Illuminati, big high roller on the panel. He's part of the disciples of the Illuminati. But what we don't know is that he was also at one point a target of Diddy's. In fact, there are a few people that are his friends that were also somebody he was trying to take out. Because Jay-Z got to the level that he did, Diddy didn't like that. Diddy wants to be the only one on top. Even with Kanye West, there's so many celebrities out there that he had these cock-offs with, and Jay-Z being one of them. But then Jay-Z, I think, at some point found out about it, told him enough's enough, and he would come after him as well. Jay-Z has a bigger army than Diddy does. Jay-Z has more respect than Diddy does. Jay-Z, unfortunately, has never shat where he ate. Yes, he's made some mistakes along the way, and he's done some pretty illegal things, bad things with girls. He's abused people. Like, I'm not taking away any of that stuff. But Diddy is careless. Jay-Z is more calculated, and he does not let anything of him get filmed or recorded in any kind, and he cleans up his trails heavily. Diddy makes more threats, makes people angry, and doesn't pay them off in the way that Jay-Z does. Beyonce. Now, some of you are probably not going to agree with me when it comes to Beyonce, but I don't believe that Beyonce is a bad guy. I believe that she has been abused and in this bubble of Jay-Z's for so long, has no idea how to get out of it, loves her kids, thus the reason she's sticking heavily to it now. But honestly, she's kind of like Bianca with Kanye. Although Jay-Z does not treat her nearly as badly as Kanye treats Bianca, I do feel like there is a level of control there, a level of obsession. In the way Kim Kardashian and Kanye had this weird obsession with her, kind of like that vibe. He was seeking her out pretty young. It's a creep factor all over. He thinks he's hot shit, But I feel like Beyonce has witnessed things. She's got documentation. And one day she's going to rat everybody out. I feel like her and Mariah Carey, I don't know why Mariah Carey is coming into my brain, honestly. I think at some point Diddy did something to screw up his relationship with Mariah Carey, but I'm also sensing that her ex, Nick Cannon, she has had a vendetta ever since. Because I think Nick Cannon and him also have a good relationship. Maybe it's a secret one. I'm not entirely sure. But she wants to bring that mofo down. And I feel like she will at some point. And I think Diddy also has some secrets there too. She's going to try to bring them both down. But Beyonce also involved in that as well. Justin. Justin was one of the boys, including Usher. Usher was groomed as well. I believe that Usher was inappropriately brought into this world, was sexually abused. Not as much as Justin was, but it was kind of like it has to happen to get to where you need to get to. And I think that's kind of what Usher may have relayed to Justin. Justin was like, whoa, what the hell? But I do feel like Justin and other kids in and around his age were absolutely groomed. And I feel like Diddy tried his hardest to make sure that that happened. I feel like Diddy groomed him. I feel like many people groomed him when he was just a young boy. I don't think Usher did directly, thankfully. I think Usher learned from his own thing, but he's got that kind of attitude. I'm not going to do it, but I'm also not going to stop it from happening. Naomi Campbell is a bad one. Oh. I feel like she was given the task of finding the young, underage girls to bring his way. I also believe she has a direct connection to Epstein, and I think Epstein also helped him along the way. But I just keep seeing she brought him lots of girls. They, instead of doing the massaging thing, even though they had lots of baby oil stuff, I guess massages happened, but she would find people to bring to these parties. They would pay them, they would drug them, and they would hurt them. And I feel like she was heavily connected to that. And she did not warn them. She just let them come, and a lot of girls walked away abused. This information is going to come out eventually as well. Paris Hilton. I don't feel like she's shared her trauma from what has happened behind closed doors. I think she's a little afraid to do so. She just more recently came out with the last couple of years about the school she went to. That is not the only abuse that I see that she has gone through. I also feel like he was very, very inappropriate with her. Nick, also very abusive towards her. I think that there was an incident at a party where Nick did something bad to her as well. He also was like supportive of Nick. There's a lot of darkness there, but I feel like Paris was a victim, and so was Nicole at some point. Kim Kardashian, I mean, of course she's involved, the whole family is involved, but I believe because of Kanye's connection, like even before Kanye and Kim got together, he was like, back off, she's mine kind of energy. Even now, creepy. He still is like threatening her boyfriends. Not a good look, Kanye. But I believe that Kim was not groomed. I feel like her mother did all that. So, not a victim, but definitely somebody who saw, can share, should share, but won't share. So, that's why I don't like the Kardashians. And again with Khloe, and again with Kourtney. All of them kept their mouth shut. No problem sitting there talking about all this fucking makeup girly shit, but we'll never talk about anything quite serious, at least not when it comes to things they've seen. Unless it's like going to get them $1 million, and if they weren't afraid. So I believe that none of these girls will ever share anything. They're just going to pretend none of these things existed. Ashton Kutcher. Ashton made a lot of mistakes in his 20s. Do I believe that he was inappropriate with minors? Yes, I do. Like we're talking about when he was like 21, 22, getting involved with like 16, 17 type of age. But I also feel like by the time he turned 25, Mila Kunis and a few others made him realize that that's not okay at all. And I do feel like he realized his mistake and is trying to make up for it now. I don't feel like he's a bad guy. I don't feel like he witnessed a lot of things, but he was definitely in a Diddy party, underage girl situation, and there is proof. And I do believe that he might have some legal consequences at some point connected to somebody. But I genuinely feel like I don't feel this often, but I genuinely feel like he is on a different path in life and does not feel the way he did in the past. One man that has not grown up is Leonardo DiCaprio. I loved this guy. I thought he was such a good actor. I think that cockiness got to his head. I don't know. But Predator, Predator, Predator. Sorry, Leo. Sorry, people, but Predator. He is a hella predator. He creeps me out. I feel like when he's 80 in a wheelchair, he's gonna have like a 20-year-old wife. Like it's just a gross energy. Um, he's not as bad as Diddy is, but he was absolutely present. He absolutely got involved, and he absolutely did not care. I feel like he has even gotten with some very young underage girls. Like, like the 16 to 18-year-olds, some girls can look older, and I guess they just pretend they don't know their age. But this energy feels like he knows what 12 looks like and is interested in 12. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Will Smith. Oh, God. Let's start off by saying I believe that Will Smith was heavily, heavily abused in his life. As a child, I don't feel like he's ever talked about it. I do feel like he was abused in the industry. For some reason, I keep feeling something connected to Bill Cosby. I don't know if they've ever run into each other on their path, but it's very possible that they did. And I do believe that Bill Cosby sexually assaulted not only girls, but boys as well. So it would not surprise me if there's a connection there. And unfortunately, I feel like he went in that direction as well. And I hate to say this, but I also believe that there's some element of abuse with his kids too, and his wife. It's a very weird situation. They are not totally like Diddy level freak off party type, but definitely swinging. Not that swinging is, bad, I guess. And just the minors. The minors is what I have an issue with. I feel bad for his children. I do believe that Jaden and Willow will come out and share their thoughts on those things as well. When you name your kids after you, like you think that, you're not going to abuse them, but all of a sudden. Kevin Hart. Kevin was hella up in there, rubbing shoulders, having fun, laughing around, joking, did see some things, pretended he didn't, very afraid of the outcome. He's probably one of the more afraid energies. But yeah, he's done some things too. I hate to say it, but I feel like he's been involved with minors. I don't necessarily think it's going to come out because I do feel like they weren't purposely, he wasn't purposely searching for minors, but I feel like he kind of found out later. And I feel like that sticks with him. So he doesn't get involved in this kind of stuff. Obviously, he's a grown man, but he is afraid that those things will come out. Thus the reason he doesn't ever say anything about anyone. Ooh, Jamie Foxx. Diddy screwed Jamie Foxx. Like hella screwed him. I feel like they had like a financial deal. He got to really see the real Diddy. I think he went to a few parties. I don't believe that they were ever really friends. I do believe that he was like, oh, wow, no thank you. He's nice. And I do believe that he was part of trying to kill him. Yes, I still believe that happened. It was no joke. LeBron James. I feel like LeBron found out about the kind of person he was and then bowed out. I believe he went to a couple of parties. First one, there wasn't anything freaky going on. Second one was, I don't know why, but I keep seeing this party with LeBron James and these like weird animatronic Like it could have been costumes. It looked like a big furry orgy, if I'm going to be honest, but it looks more animal kind of thing. Anyways, I think that he saw that and he bounced. Did he like to do theme parties? Did everyone get involved in the themes? No, but he would do some weird shit. He would have like porn stars come out and do a performance for everyone. He would have like people do artistic, acrobatic movements, and then it would become something sexual later on. These parties are not for the faint of heart. And then they would do things like in front of everybody. Yikes. I feel dirty talking about it. But basically, without getting too graphic, cameras, people, audience, different themes, parties, always ending the same way, and performances, and like rough stuff like beating people and hurting people and dom and sub kind of stuff, but really like high energy dom and stuff, sub kind of stuff. And again, those things are totally fine to do. Just keep the kids out of it, please. Go have your fun with anyone who's over the age of 21. Jennifer Lopez. I'm not a Jennifer fan anymore. I used to really like her. She has gotten involved in some, like, I feel like there was a moment in time where he went to pew pew somebody. Like, I see him driving, doing a drive-by shooting, and her being there, part of it. Didn't want to be part of it, but was part of it. And I feel like that's kind of when she ended up walking away from him. But very similar to Kim Porter, it was hard for her to get out, but thankfully she did. I do feel like he hurt her a few times as well. There is some things she turned a blind eye to. I wish she would share her story. She looks at it like a weakness. Don't look at it as a weakness. Please share your story. I get it. It's sad. I'll have more respect for you if you do. It's okay that you had man issues. We all do. But Jennifer was part of a lot of shit. Young Miami, romantic relationship. I feel like it's a facade. Like, I don't feel like there's a genuine relationship. Now, she's kept her distance, but something is telling me that people were like, you need to stay the fuck away from him. And she is, but she's also trying not to be an enemy as well, because she knows what happens to his enemies. But I do feel like when he gets out, which, by the way, when he does get out, it's not going to be for long. I feel like he'll go right back in. But I do feel like they may try to put on another facade, but I'm also seeing that he's talking to another woman right now, Barf. And I also feel like she may become his newest victim. Drake. I loved this guy back in the day. Clearly, Canadian, that vibe, Jimmy from Degrassi. How can I not love that show? I have lost so much respect for him. I do believe that he genuinely hurt Millie Bobby Brown. I really do believe that he hurt her. And I do feel like one day she will share this information. But I'm seeing before that happens, there's going to be at least 10 kids. Like 10, they'll be adults, but 10 girls underage that will all come forward as a unit and speak on Drake. We know that there's a lot of songs about him connected to being connected to minors, and it's very disturbing, but I feel like that's all going to come out. These girls are going to come out talking about it. I also feel like we're going to find out about secret children. We're going to find out it was like he was cheating on his partners, even like a current day partner. Like, there's a lot connected to Drake. He will probably be one of the more notorious. He'll be like the Diddy of Canada. He went to these parties, got involved, enjoyed. They have evidence, they have tapes, like they have everything. That's the reason he won't share nothing. But I feel like he's also somebody who contacts and is frequently communicating with Diddy. Gross. Nicki Minaj, I mean, she enjoys predators, so it doesn't surprise me. She is what I'd like to call Nod Dump's puppet. A lot of these black women that start to get praise, like the guy's all nice to her and she's like, "Aw, Mr. President, you're not a bad guy. People just think you are." When in reality, he's using the shit out of you. to gain access to other Black people. So good job. You are his puppet. Do you know what's going to happen to his puppet? You are already on his hit list. He doesn't even want you around. In fact, I think he might one day revoke her card. Yeah, something like that. But she also had to pay for it. So, okay. But yeah, she's just playing the game to look good. There might have been a threat when it came to her citizenship, something along those lines, but something will happen and she will eventually share. She might even go on like the Candace Owens like podcast or something. I don't know. Something in that regard is going to happen eventually too. Chris Brown. I feel like Chris Brown is a better version of himself today than he was in the past. I still feel like he's a cocky, arrogant wife beater. I do feel like he's a very abusive person, and to his children as well, I'm sorry to say. But that's just my vibe, my feels. Not facts, just vibes. But I do believe that he is also somebody involved in a lot of gross, disgusting, minor related things. I also believe that he had connection to Epstein's girls as well. I think there's like, everyone has a flavor and attractiveness, but I keep seeing something connected to people from Hawaii. There's some sort of attraction to young females connected to Hawaii, and I feel like there's going to be a young girl who comes forward and discusses the details of Chris Brown. People may not necessarily believe her, but I will. There are so many people connected to this list. It's unbelievable. But I think that is everyone we're going to talk about today. But we will be back again for another freak off party, talking about who was involved, what they were involved in. And I do want to mention as well, when it comes to anything connected to Diddy, he has done the absolute worst. We are going to find and put the pieces together connected to Epstein as well. And there's a lot more he was involved in too that we have yet to talk about. The underground tunnels, the trafficking side of things, like there is a lot. This guy has his hand in so many things. After a while, when you have money and success, life becomes very boring. So you have to fill your days with other things. And I feel like this is what he did. He enjoyed the criminal, getting away with shit life. I also believe that he has unalived at least 50 people himself. He has made other people unalive people as well, but I believe he has killed at least 50 people in his life thus far. I would not be surprised if there is more to come in the future. But anyways, guys, that is everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please let me know in the comments what you think. And don't forget to follow us on Us Against Everything. You are not going to want to miss it. Until next time, stay freaked out.